Jeff, you guys win the ninth game of the season. Just what were the emotions in the locker room after tonight's game?
It's getting surreal. I mean, really, we can deny it and say we don't listen to it, we don't pay attention to it, but I mean, that just sounds nuts, right? I mean, that's just crazy, and we can't change, right? I thought we slipped a little tonight, too many penalties. The crowd was so into the game. Frisky would be the nicest way I can describe that game, and we got emotional at times. And I just don't want to see that. For me to have to burn a timeout and blow my whistle and get everybody over there, I don't want to be a part of that, right? We got that all cleaned up, and I don't want to go back to that way. So I was disappointed in that. But, yeah, as good as we've ever been offensively, I thought, Frank was unbelievable. Our line, our running back, our receivers, tight ends. Defensively, I know we're all frustrated because we're so spoiled, but UTEP's really good on offense, and they made some great plays out there. And I got to coach my team, right? We got to get that cleaned up. But I'm also done this long enough. You got to tip your hat to the other guys. Sometimes they played a really good game offensively, and special teams we were just spot on.
Jeff, how key was it for us that Sierra hit that home run on the second play of the game?
Well, the crowd was, and and they didn't go away. I thought we were up so much at halftime. I was hoping we'd come out and be like Louisiana Tech. They'd all be gone, but it wasn't that way. They were all here, and they didn't go away till late. And their kids never went away. They kept playing to the very end. Dana's done a great job, those kids. And they're going to be a tough out for somebody now. They're a good team.
But that run itself, though, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, we worked on it all week, and they gave us the exact look we were working on. And it's one of those things. Sometimes we call them for some good, and sometimes we don't. But, he was gone, and he ran his tail off the whole night.
Jeff, it seemed like between the open week, the celebration around your contract, the CFP snub, there were a lot of factors kind of building into this being a special game. Did you feel a sense of that during the week for you guys?
No. Our kids don't change. I know y'all want to throw up distractions and all that kind of stuff, and y'all come to practice. They're the same every day. They work their tail off every day. They never change. They're a model of consistency, and it's something to talk about. It's great for us to discuss right now, but our kids just don't. That is the reason we did get in front of the 10-year contract. We didn't want that question asked anymore to our kids, right? So that's why we got in front of it, and that's all we should be talking about, right? They're 9-0. That is crazy. This is an incredible ride.
It seems like every week in college football, good teams either let lesser teams hang around or don't put them away or even lose to teams that aren't as good as them. Is there something to be said for kind of going out and taking care of business?
We talk about it now. We teach. I'm an ex-history teacher, right? So current events, how I know kids pay attention. So I'm going to always start off with the current event of the day, right? So it was easy today to teach because there was tons of examples. But while I knew we would be fine, I'm with them every day. I see how they practice. And, JJ's at practice almost every day. Every day is the same. They have an absolute blast. They work their tails off, and you're going to play the way you practice. Practice makes permanent. Perfect practice makes perfect. So does it surprise me? No. Am I naive enough to think that couldn't happen to us? No. I understand that could be us next week. And we went over it, like what makes cultures decline. Prosperity does. We got a lot of prosperity right now. Pressure does. We don't feel pressure. Our kids don't feel pressure. And what was my third P? So preoccupied with getting attention, you get in your own way because you want so much attention, you're not paying attention. That's what makes cultures decline. You study history books forever. How do we handle those 3 Ps? That's what we got to work on every day.
Jeff, does UTSA deserve to be ranked in the CFP after this performance?
I don't know. I have no clue. I know I've got a really good football team, and when we put the ball down, as Rashad Wisdom says, spot the ball. When we spot the ball, we're going to show up and play.
I guess where I was going with the question before that is some people, and Greg mentioned them, don't think y'all have been convincing enough or impressive enough. Is there something to coming out in a game that was supposed to be a big game and kind of dominating it from the start? Is there something to that?
You can just tell I don't coach that way. We take knees. Like it was obvious we could have scored again, right? I'm just not about that. We're going to play the game the right way. And if people can't figure it out, that's their own problem. My kids have got to figure it out.
Jeff, on the offensive side, I think this is the fourth game of 40 straight points or more. Just you guys got to go in offensively. How can you explain that?
It's just a November to remember, right? This is kind of the history of those kids. It's just stacking one great day on top of another. They just get just a little bit better all the time. And the end of that, and I'm sure there's some fancy word for that, but I don't know what it is, makes you really, really good, right? And that's all it is. We just work. We work, and they're really good players. They're very talented, and they work, and they're a blast to coach.
What are the improvements that have come from that, areas that you're so much better now compared to earlier in the year?
It's just small little details, right? I mean, it's just step, communication, ball placement, recognition of coverage, Frank get us in the right play. You can tell he's up there checking he has total control of the offense now. That used to not be that way. So it's just a little bit every day. I mean, there's nothing, if you came out there in one day, you'd go, oh, they got a lot better this today. But if you look back 8 weeks ago, you'd go, man, they just keep stacking great days.
Coach, when you face a team like them, they have the second-ranked rush defense in the conference, and you have Sincere. Is that kind of a man versus man type of thing because you want to show that you can beat them in that part of the game?
I know you guys look at it as it's Sincere versus them. We don't see it that way. We know he's very important, but we look at it Maka versus the 3 technique, right? We look at it as Leroy versus the defensive end. We look at it as like each single person to make your point. It's a man chat. It is. That's why we do it, right? I mean, Zakari comes to me all the time. Why can't we be a pass first team? It's a mindset. 4th and 1 down there. Our plan was to throw it in. That was our plan. And I'm literally like, man, we can't be about the triangle of toughness and throw it right here. We're running the thing in. We'll figure it out. So you're exactly right. It's our brand. It's who we are. I think it just resonates to everybody about the triangle of toughness. That's just who we are. But yes, number 3 is a huge part of that.
Jeff, a lot of Roadrunner fans in attendance tonight. What can you say about that group?
It was awesome. They were ready to roar too, man. They were incredible, and it was just fun. This is what college football is supposed to be about. We missed this last year, and man, the city of San Antonio. I mean, we haven't been home in a month. We went through heck, and we're coming home 9-0. I hope that thing is rocking like I've been dreaming of it when we get back home.
Speaking of the fans, have you seen that temporary tattoo out there with your face that's hotter than fish grease?
No, I have not, but I'm sure my wife, Care Bear, has something to say about that. She actually told me it's time for me to come up with something different. She's tired of that, so I got to go back to the drawing board. I don't know how to describe her hotter than that. JJ had to come up with something for me.
Well, there's an alumni she's going to be handing them out next week at the game. She was handing them out today, too.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, there it is. Look.
Can they put a hat on that man? I mean, there's a reason I wear that cap all the time. That's a bad-looking dome right there now.
I was going to say, did you see any difference in Sincere in this game, maybe benefiting from the open week?
He did look fresher than me. He did. He looked, that first one, he looked like he was shot out of a cannon, right? And his shoe kept coming off, and I'm having a heart attack thinking he's injured. I pulled him about 4 times. I thought he was hurt. It was just a shoe. That kid has more problems with his shoes than I've ever been around.
And how about Frank Harris? Was he a little bit banged up coming into this game, or what's the deal with that?
He's always banged up, right? He's 118 years old. He's older than most of the guys in the Old Testament. I mean, so, he's the joy. There's no one that takes care of his body more than him. We feel great because our quarterback situation is as deep as anybody in the country. I mean, Josh Atkins worked his tail off all week, and he would have been fine if he could have played. And I talked to Josh about it before the game, and he understands the deal. And Frank's just a warrior, man.
Coach, you had 4 teams ahead of you guys in the rankings, lost today, 2 undefeateds go down. Do you feel like you guys deserve to go up after this week?
I won't go there. I just won't do it because there's nothing I can do about it, right? That's why I got you guys. Y'all are going to do that for me. Now, if there's any jabs at us this week, I'm sure we might make a few memes, but I probably won't comment to y'all.
Did you have help with those memes?
They're all my ideas, but
Okay.
Alexander Nicasio, my video guy, he's the one that got it done. He crushed it. My children, all their friends are like, man, your dad's like the meme lord. And Jake was on the phone the other day, and my mouse thing disappeared, and I couldn't find it, so I had to call Alex to come in there to find my mouse thing, right? And Jake's like, my dad can't even find his mouse when it disappears. There's no way he made that. My ideas, Alex, just like all this, those are my ideas. I don't do anything. Them guys do it all.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank y'all, man. God bless. Birds up.